All right, so I'm here at the Penn Station subway train, waiting to go downtown, and then move over to the Jersey City through the PATH train, and then we start our fun at the Beatles Fest. So come along with me and let's see what kind of excitement we have this weekend. Okay, so here we are in the Oculus. This is pretty much across the street from the Trade Center site and about 2 blocks from where I used to work. So we're going to get on the PATH train, head over to Jersey City.
I sure don't. All right, so this is going to be the perfect cap to the first 3 months of Beatles in 2025. Let's give it up for Mark and his family for putting this together for us every year.
Quick announcements. Anybody is arriving in Mercedes and left it out front. Oh Lord, move your Mercedes. Cause you're going to it and you go to it now.
Very much. Eddie Deezen. It was back in 1978. The film I Want to Hold Your Hand came out. You were one of the stars in that movie. And at that point, I'm just going to assume you were a Beatle fan even then.
Oh yeah, I was just in '64. I remember them coming over in '64. I clearly remember I watched the Ed Sullivan Show. I remember we were in the car. One of them's name is George Harrison. It was like they were totally unknown to us. I remember seeing that. We saw Hard Day's Night, a little town in Cumberland, Maryland, a little town in Western Maryland. There was the girls screamed all through the movie. You couldn't hear the dialogue. You just see the Beatles moving their lips. You know, it was crazy even back then. Same thing with Help. And I went through the whole thing of it. I never got to see them, unfortunately, but my ex-wife did.
No, that was that your first film? Because I know you worked in comedy before that.
Grease was my first. And then I did, Grease was my first, and then I did a little science fiction movie called Laser Blast. I get blown up in a car, and it's a pretty bad movie. And then I did I Want to Hold Your Hand. So Grease was my first, then Laser Blast, then I Want to Hold Your Hand. But the order they came out, Laser Blast was released first, and then I Want to Hold Your Hand, and then Grease. So it gets confusing. But that was my third film, but it's second to come out.
And you were also part of Spy Hard.
Yes.
And War Games.
Yes, Mr. Potato Head, yes. I was the first computer nerd. I was the very first computer nerd. Yeah.
Surf 2, the end of the trilogy.
Yes,
and
that
of
was
course,
first time I got top billing, Surf 2, yeah.
And of course, in 2004, The Polar Express, one of the great holiday films ever.
Thank you, sir. You're very kind. That was Bob Zemeckis knew me from I Want to Hold Your Hand, and he wrote me into Polar. He did I Want to Hold Your Hand, and then he wrote me into 1941. Steven Spielberg directed that. And then I wasn't in the book Polar Express, but Bob wrote me in as a character in Polar Express. My character's totally made up out of his head. So that's how I got in Polar Express. Bob's the best director I ever worked with. He's great.
That's great. Yeah. Eddie, thanks so much for taking time. I'm getting the finger over there. Not that finger, but this is to speed it up a bit, and that'll do. Eddie, we'll talk to you more this weekend.
Colin Hanton and Colin Hall.
From Portugal. Yes, and just use the second.
two right-handed kids. And for a left-handed person to play right-hand is just mind-blowing. He said that's how I learned, and that's how I did pretty good with it. So he stuck with being a left-handed, playing a right-handed kid. And I've got to tell you this quick story about him, because he had such a great sense of humor. We were driving down from Seattle down to Portland, and we had to go through. He wanted to go and see the redwood forest because those trees are just magnificent. And the tour manager was like, you know, he said, I don't fucking care. We're going to stop and we're going to hug a redwood tree. So it was me and Peter and Jack. We all went out. We all sort of wandering around, going, oh wow, because they're magnificent, you know, these redwoods. And we came around a corner, and then stuck in a sort of a fork in the ground was a number 7. Don't know why. Maybe there was some marathon or some run, but it freaked him out. He said, "That's my lucky number." It says my lucky number, and most we would go, "Well, that's my lucky number too." But yeah, come on, let's get going. He said, "No, I've got to think. I've got to sit and think." So he sat on this rock like Rodin, you know, the thinker, looking at this number 7, and we're all drifting back to the bus because the tour manager's going, "Come on, we've got to get going." And so he's all alone, and then suddenly around the corner comes this little old lady hiking. She's got a little backpack on and a stick. She's probably about 60. We could see her, but the bus was tucked in the forest, and she couldn't see us. She could only see Ringo. And there's no way she's not going to miss him. They have to walk right by him. She's got to walk right by him. So she's like looking and kind of scratching. And we see them exchange a couple of words, and she walks off like shaking her head. And Ringo finally gets the whistle from the tour manager. He gets on the boat and says, "Ringo, what did she say?" He said, "Are you Ringo Starr?" And we said, "Well, what did you say?" He said, "It's all in your mind, love." You imagine at home, you know, at dinner, "Hey, I saw Ringo Starr in the woods last night." Yeah, you're right. Acid flashback, you know.
And this woman stopped in front of us and said, "You're George Harrison." And John looked at her and said, "Yes, I am, thank you." And she walked on, and the two of us continued up Park Avenue, laughing. And I thought to myself, if she had asked for an autograph, he would have signed George's name.
Beatles fan, and you're going to have a great deal of fun with him. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Eddie Deezen. My pleasure. Eddie Deezen, give it up.
Yes, sir. Hello.
All right.
Hello.
What are we in for?
I'm sorry?
What are we in for?
We're in for what? A treat. You're in for a real treat. I apologize it's so late. I'm so sorry. It's 3 now. I'm going to do a Q&A. I'll be happy to do a Q&A afterwards, the movie. Please feel free to ask me anything you want. Ask me about, you know, John Travolta, Tom Hanks, whatever you want, anything. We're all friends here. We're all Beatles fans. I love you all. So I hope you enjoy. Oh, yes. Oh, one thing, please. There was a lady earlier tonight. I hope she's here. She has a son named Ryan. Yes, are you there? Yeah, your Venmo didn't go clear. Can you see Denise? The Venmo thing didn't get cashed. I apologize. It didn't get cashed. I know you're honest, but it didn't get cashed. So see Denise, please. Okay, and anyway, Denise and I will be signing again. After the Q&A, we'll be signing again if you want to buy pictures or if you want to buy copies of I Want to Hold Your Hand. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the movie. Have a great time. I love you all. Take care.
All right. Eddie. All right.
I want to hold your hand. I want to hold your hand.
All right, all right, all right. What'd you guys think of that? Quick show of hands, had anyone here not seen that movie before? A few, okay, so first timers. We're gonna ask a couple of you guys to come up and ask questions as soon as I bring up, for me, the star of the movie, Richard Ringo Klaus. Bring him back up here. Eddie. Give it up for Eddie, come on! How
you
great
very
was
much.
that?
Thank you.
How great was that? You know, Eddie, one of the things I'm one of those guys loves to read the credits and see
Right.
who was in, and
Yes,
of course
sir.
we all know, Robert Zemeckis is in,
Yes,
was
the best
behind
director
this.
I ever worked with.
Best director.
He's a genius.
I saw him last week, actually.
Seriously?
Seriously,
Oh.
at Lincoln Center, they do the movies where they have the orchestra playing along.
Right,
and
yes.
Back to the Future was
Cool.
playing, and
Very
Bob
cool.
Zemeckis was there.
Yes.
And of course, Steven Spielberg.
Oh, did you seriously?
No, he wasn't there. No, I'm saying, for this
Oh,
movie,
okay.
Spielberg is producing. And,
Gotcha.
and one of the things I noticed at the end where it said, the Beatles footage on Sullivan, courtesy of Ed Sullivan Enterprises.
Yes.
Anyone know what that costs today? That they loaned that for free?
Millions.
When you see the Beatles on Sullivan on TV, I can tell you this. The last quote that I got when we wanted to use it for something was $5,000 per second.
Seriously? Oh my
Per
God.
second.
For any Ed Sullivan show or the Beatles?
For the Beatles.
Oh, the Beatles, okay.
And
probably for Elvis too, I guess.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
And you guys remember Mad Men? Not too long ago, right?
Oh,
They
sure.
paid the most
John
ever.
Hamm, yeah.
Yeah, they paid the most ever for use of a Beatles song for less than 2 minutes. Cost them $250,000.
What was the song?
They used? Who can tell? Beatles expert Eddie. Tomorrow never knows.
Oh, okay, that's great
Yeah.
trivia. I got one, okay, all the Beatles geniuses. What's the historical inaccuracy in that movie? Does anybody know? Yes?
I just George was not in there because George didn't go to rehearsal because he was sick.
No, they did that. They said George was sick. Well, they did in Central Park. They
He
said,
went to rehearsal and he shouldn't have been to stay in his room all the time. And Neil was the stand. Neil, that's what
Well,
You're
he would have
exactly
been
right.
in the room. There's a
You're
couple.
exactly right. There's another one. Oh, go ahead. What's
There's
yours?
a couple. I got one or two. Well, the Beatles opened and closed
That's it.
the
That's
show.
it. Yes, the Beatles were the opening act too.
And-
They go, they're not on until the end. No, they opened and they closed the show.
And here's one for you. I'm not sure who else might know this one.
Right.
But the song they were all singing outside, "We Love You, Beatles,"
Yes.
doesn't come out for about a month after
Seriously?
that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
great trivia.
now, speaking of trivia,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to do this in front of a very esteemed audience. Here.
All right.
One of my roles here, Eddie, I host the Beatles trivia
Oh, go ahead.
contest
Fire
here.
away. I got a
no,
couple for you.
I want you to come.
Anybody can get mine. I'll give you $5.
When we do the trivia contest
Yes.
tomorrow, you are hereby
Oh,
cordially
please.
invited.
Oh, I want to be in. Thank you.
Yes,
What's the prize? What's the prize?
The prize is you will be there. That's the prize.
Oh.
Let's see what time is
Chintzy,
trivia tomorrow. Trivia tomorrow is at 3:45 in the afternoon.
Okay.
In the ballroom
Yes, sir.
right out there. I
would
want
love
you to come.
Please come get me. I would love to.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Who else now will come to the trivia contest because Eddie's going to be there? I'm even going to
Yes.
go. Well, I have to go.
Okay. I can give a couple now if you want. Or do I fire them in the trivia contest?
Do you want to ask them? Or
Well, who? Okay. I can ask a couple.
Ask a couple. Let's see what we got.
Okay. Who were the only two women to play on Beatle records?
Oh,
Does anybody know that?
There's a couple. To play or to sing?
To play instruments.
Play instruments.
Yes.
Well, there's the harpist.
Yes.
From Shirley.
Yeah. No. You're close.
I know her. Yeah.
You were right.
Yes. The
Sheila.
harp player.
Sheila.
Bromberg.
Yes. Sheila
okay.
Bromberg, and there's one other one. Sheila Bromberg played on She's Leaving Home. She played the harp.
Yeah.
And then, the other one?
Trying to think. Yoko is. Her voice is
Yeah,
on
no,
several.
this is instrument.
Linda is on there. Some of them are
Right.
Sam singers or
Yes.
singers. I'm trying to think. Hold on. Wow, he's stumping Tom in front of the whole. Whoa!
I've been doing this for 50 years.
Women to play on a Beatles.
Yes, played instruments, yes.
Played instruments on a Beatles record. We have the harpist Sheila Bromberg, and
It's very tough.
it is tough.
You
Tell
want a
us.
clue?
Yes, of course.
The cello.
Oh, she's a cellist on what, Walrus?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Her name was Joy Hall. A lady named Joy Hall was with the cello people on Walrus. Yeah.
Beatles
Yeah.
expert trivia
Yes.
maven, Eddie.
Yes. Anybody
Okay.
that knows, I'll give you $5. I'll fire one more, then we'll get to the Q&A. How about, who's the only woman ever paid to help write a Beatles song?
Paid to help.
Write a Beatles song. She helped with the composing the song.
Is she credited as a composer?
No, she's not credited,
credited.
but it's verified that she was paid.
Ivan Vaughn's wife, Michelle.
Okay, I thought it was Jan, though. Isn't it Jan? But that's fair. Who got that? I'll give you $5. You didn't
That's
look
a
it up,
good-
right? You didn't look it up on your phone?
Now,
Okay,
Eddie,
I'll give you $5.
seems
They
like
got
you
the question fair and square.
Seems like you like the ones about the ladies. What's the only Beatles song, okay,
Yes.
that has a girl's
I owe you $5.
that has a girl's name in the title,
Okay.
where they don't mention the girl's name in the lyrics?
Great song.
Hold on,
Great.
hold on. Let's give Eddie a.
Don't tell me.
So it's clearly not Michelle.
Right, it's not
Okay, yeah.
Michelle.
Yeah, let's give the champ a shot here. He took me down already, so I had to.
They're smart. You're,
Hold
you're
on.
better than me. No, I have to concede. Who is it, ma'am? Oh, very good. Very
yeah,
good.
that's a good one.
Excellent. Very
yeah,
good.
No, we have
Okay.
loads of that lined up tomorrow.
Don't look on your phones.